Welcome to Freedom Cast, where your hosts, Jordan and Miranda, show you how to get just a little bit more out of life. Are you ready to leave normal behind?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Freedom Cast. We are so happy to have you listening today. We have a very good podcast episode geared up for you, and today we are going to be talking about how to increase productivity. And I think that's something that everybody would like to be better at, right?
What were we doing again?
We are increasing productivity.
Oh, sorry, I was on my phone. I wasn't listening to you.
I could tell. That's one of the ways to increase productivity.
To be on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go through the top 10 ways to increase productivity.
Thanks for the reminder. I forgot again.
Making a list. Is that one of
Checking
them?
it twice.
It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas. Let's be more productive as we're heading into the holiday season.
Because there's always more to do, more presents to buy, more people to hang out with, more.
More. How do you be more productive with the time that we have without adding a whole ton of new responsibilities onto yourself? Because no one wants more to do. We all have probably too much to do. So we're going to give you a couple helpful tidbits on how to break the mold, break the chain, and start getting more done.
Exactly. So number one, and this is one that people don't like to hear, but it's so true.
Yep. If you're in your car, please sit down.
Please sit down.
Especially if you're in your car.
If you're laying in your bed, please sit up.
Yeah, if you're in your bed, sit up. If you're standing, you can stay standing. That's fine.
Yes. Number one is to cut out television. Now, you can do this.
Sorry.
Very nice. A variety of ways. A lot of people are going to say, no, I love my shows and I'm going to watch them. So you can do it in a way where you are limited to one episode a show a day, or you can do it. What's another way you can do it?
Well, if you have a shorter show, you can just watch one at a time and then go do something. Be more productive in the in-between times. I think sometimes binge watching can be something we all fall prey to with certain shows. And like we shared in one of our latest episodes, we love The Office.
I was going to say that's really ironic, actually.
It's pretty ironic.
We're kind of full of it because we just told everybody they need to watch all seasons of The Office, and then the next episode, it's like,
well, they should have watched them in the past 2 weeks in between these episodes, because now they're going to have to follow our productivity suggestions and not binge watch the show.
That's fair. We gave them plenty of time. So, yes, number one, no TV. And Jordan and I actually did this when we moved. We spent the whole month of August, and we said we're not going to watch any TV because we have way too much to do. We had like 2 cheat nights, I think.
Yeah, we watched a few episodes of The Office toward the end. Please don't hate us.
Yeah, don't judge us too harshly. But we did really well the rest of the month, and we were amazed at how much work we got done and how much time there is in a day. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we're really not telling anyone that you can't watch TV or that you shouldn't watch TV. I think if you read about productivity anywhere, pretty much everyone says something about, try to watch less TV. But I think it just takes an honest look and an honest account of how much you're actually watching. And that was something for us, like Miranda just mentioned. In August, we realized how much we were actually watching and how much time that really took up and how much time was freed up by not watching. So I think it's just something to look at your own life, and if you're going to binge watch a season over a weekend, that's something you enjoy doing, that's fine. It really is just, if you're watching 3 or 4 hours of TV every night, that's something you just need to take a look at and just ask yourself how much more you could be getting done in the meantime.
Because I do think TV is a great way to relax, and if you...
Oh yeah, and it's a good time to spend with each other too.
Yeah, if you had a stressful day at work, it's so nice to be like, I'm just going to go home, make some hot tea, sit down and watch a TV show. And that's great. But after, you can feel it too, after you've watched over an hour or so, you can feel your mind starting to numb numb over, and and you feel like you can't do anything at that point.
Yep.
I think TV not just kills a lot of time when you're watching it, it also puts you in a very lethargic mindset.
Yeah.
So that's another reason you shouldn't watch it.
Oh, and I did want to throw in here, on our episode, I spoke pretty harshly about Parks and Rec. Miranda smiling, she can tell you what ended up happening after that episode.
We have since watched probably 10 more episodes of Parks and Rec.
I'm not exactly sure. We try to follow what we're giving advice for you guys on, only to watch a few at a time. We try not to sit there and watch 4 or 5, because that could be really easy to just spend a night watching 4, 5, 6, 7 of these short episodes. I think they're only about 22, 23 minutes.
Yeah, the short ones are easy to just kind of get on a roll
Yeah,
with.
you can just keep going.
But Jordan has since started enjoying Parks and Rec. So
I do like it. I
it's
like
really
it. I like the
funny.
characters. So
Yeah.
I ate my words, and I'm proud to admit it.
He has to admit it on here because he was very harsh about it. So
And Miranda didn't even make me admit it. I thought of it myself and wanted to be honest that thank you for the people that told me I would like that show. I was wrong and you were right.
exactly.
Exactly. Wow. Thanks for just like really agreeing with that there. Appreciate that.
And the other thing, a good tip for this is we watch TV on Jordan's Xbox. We watch Netflix. And Netflix is so tricky because it just goes right into the next episode. It gives you 20 seconds to make that decision. Do I want to watch another episode or do I want to stop and do something else? And 9 times out of 10, you just let it roll. And you're like, let's let fate decide.
Let it rain, baby.
And it's going to rain. So
Usually rains.
it's good if you just pause it. When the episode is over, just stop it and then make your decision, because it's that pressure of the countdown and you're like, well, I'll just watch one more. It's
And that's so cool that you said that, because I think that applies to so many different aspects and avenues of life. Don't let other people and other programs and other things make your decisions for you. If you're going to binge watch a season, or if you're going to watch a couple extra episodes of a show, make it your choice and live with that choice and be joyous in that choice if you want to watch a couple episodes. I think it's important to remember that we need to be in control, and not in control, but we need to be thinking about our decisions and not just like sitting back and just like letting it go. And I guess you can apply that to life as well. Get in the driver's seat as much as you can with making life decisions. Didn't mean to jump deep there, but I think that's such a thought that is just, I'm so passionate about.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. You need to be conscious of what you're deciding and make sure it's from your heart and not just what the world is telling you to do.
Yep.
So that was number 1.
We're going to jump to number
Limit
2.
TV.
That was number 1, Limit TV. Number 2.
Number 1, Limit TV.
Limit TV? Oh, haha, very funny. Yeah, Limit TV. What are you?
It wasn't a joke. I just wanted to say it again.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke.
No, but I'm glad you thought it was.
Number
one.
2, what you've all been waiting for, and one of my favorite things, whiteboards. Get 1, get 2, get 3. They are fantastic for organizing, keeping ideas, keeping goal lists, brainstorming. I can't tell you how many sessions Miranda and I have had about on brainstorming. Not sessions on brainstorming sessions. Let me be clear there. We clear the whiteboard. We make a big title at the top. This is what we're going to be talking about. One of the ones we did was, how the heck are we going to move? How the heck are we going to leave our jobs at Hawthorne? How is this going to happen? So we did a whole whiteboard and just went over all the different things, brainstormed. How can we make this work? Are we going to need to look for different jobs? Where do we want to live? All these decisions. It's so cool because it got us on the same page. It was something we could leave up and just ponder and pray about, for a few days at a time. Love whiteboards, and they are just key to productivity. Probably use them too much, where it can be a detriment at times to always have to write everything down on a whiteboard. But, I'm all for technology and spreadsheets and all of that stuff, but having it out and written on the wall is pretty cool.
There's something about having it physically, you're writing it down and you can look at it, that I think really helps. And whiteboards are just fun, you know? You just wipe it off and write something else.
It's beautiful.
It's a great thing.
Beautiful colors, beautiful whiteboard. Love it.
So this ties in somewhat with whiteboards. Number 3 is weekly meetings.
And we're not going to spend too long on this because we did a whole episode on this, but we did want to add it here because they're excellent for productivity. Go ahead, Miranda.
Yes, we did a whole episode on how much we love weekly meetings. And
Or as I like to refer to them, meekly weedings.
yes, so it's definitely something that will increase your productivity, because if you don't revisit things each week, all of a sudden a month has gone by and you haven't gained any momentum towards your goals. So it's something you really have to stick with and stay on it, because you said, oh, I said I would do this week and I actually didn't do anything. So
Yep, and to in an effort at full disclosure, is that what you say? That sounds right. In an effort at full disclosure, me and Miranda did say just before we started recording this episode that neither of us were sure if we had done our goals for the week, our weekly meeting goals, and I think that's it's not something where you need to beat yourself up over it, but because you're meeting weekly and you can talk about those things, we can adjust course from there. It's a lot easier to adjust a course on a bad week than it is to adjust course on a bad month or a bad year. And it's not something where you need to do it every day. I think a week is just a good frame of time just to revisit things and then to revamp going forward.
because you can catch yourself if you get...
Catch yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. In case you get in a slump, which I do sometimes, and I just feel like I don't want to do anything. I just want to nap and eat chocolate. So it definitely helps me if I look back and say, I didn't accomplish anything this week. I have to do better next week.
Yep.
And Jordan's always giving me a hard time, so,
What are you talking about?
I was just kidding. But yeah, that is number 3, weekly meetings.
Oh, and I'm going to number 4, reading different books. Great for productivity because you can start to learn more things. I think a lot of reading books is learning more about yourself and how you function. That's a great reason to read nonfiction as well as fiction. You can start to see what you like. Reading books is something that we all need to get back into. If you found that you haven't read a book in the past couple years, start reading and you'll see how your mind is just opened up to things and different possibilities, and it'll help you get you on the right track.
Yeah, I can't say enough how much reading fiction, nonfiction, whatever, it's just so good for your brain. You get better vocabulary, you learn new ideas, it broadens your imagination. There's just so much you can gain from reading. Even if you don't have a lot of time and you are limited to one book every few months or something just because you have a lot on your plate, that's fine. Just make sure you are reading and you are trying to make that a goal.
Yeah, that's awesome, honey. So what's the next one? Number 5.
Number 5, and this one I really
Letter number 5.
really love, is make sure you have time to be creative. I am very crafty. I really love...
You're a one crafty nugget. I keep jumping in there. I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
You're interrupting a lot today, man.
What? I'm trying to be funny.
It's okay.
Okay, cool.
So, creative time. I think it's so important. I like to sew. I'm really not very good. My sister Ashlyn is actually amazing, so it's hard to live up to that.
What did she make, Beth, the one time? Like a little dress?
She's made dresses.
Or didn't she make the witch Halloween costume?
It's crazy. So
yeah, that was amazing.
My mom taught us all how to sew, kind of. I mean, we all did home ec and stuff in school too. But, I mean, Ashlyn really took to it, and the rest of us are kind of the bottom of the class. But that's okay. So I really like sewing. I like painting. I've always loved crocheting. And just doing fun little craft projects. So this is something that I find if I don't make time for it, it doesn't happen. But I find so much joy in doing it, it's silly not to make time for it. So it's definitely something that you want to make time for, and make sure it's something you enjoy. Don't force yourself to crochet if you hate it, obviously. But I think everyone has that creative spark in them, and you just need to find what it is that gets the creative juices moving in your brain.
Yeah, and I think using it as an opportunity to be creative yourself, but to also give back to someone else. And Miranda found a really cool thing by making me a few posters for my office. She made me a Captain America poster, more like a canvas.
I mean, I painted them, so I think you call it a painting.
Fine. Okay, wow. Cool, babe. Okay. Yeah, she painted me a painting? Is that what you say?
Well, yeah.
She
fine.
painted a painting.
I think they understand.
She drew a painting on the wall of Captain America's shield, and then she did a Hulk fist as well. She's actually creating a Thor hammer for me as well. But just a cool opportunity to do something for me, which I really appreciated. But she's enjoyed the process as well. So she can get in her creative mode, and then she can give back to me as well, who really appreciates that for my office.
Yeah, and it really does wonders for your brain, just using a different part of your brain, and just even if something turns out looking terrible, like you learned from that, and it's a great experience. It's a great way to get in the zone and just do something just for the heck of it. You don't have to have a reason to do it. You can make a painting and then throw it away if it's really bad, but it's still valuable because you spent that time using that part of your brain. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's increasing productivity because what Miranda just said. It's increasing those the power of those synapses in your brain and in your mind to focus on tasks. That's why it's important to have this creative time in with other more businessy or whatever productive kind of time to take creative breaks and give your mind that chance to just be at ease and just create something. I can't speak enough for the power of creation and how much you can give back, and you would just be productive overall with your time, even in being creative by doing a blog or writing a book or anything like that as well. There's so many different avenues and different ways to be creative and have creative time. It's just important to make sure you get that in there.
Exactly. And I forgot that I had to tie it in with how that increases productivity, so thanks for that.
You're welcome. I was trying to not call you out like you would have done for me, and I was just trying to help you out.
I called myself out, so it's all good.
Go me.
Go you. So what's number 6?
Is that mine?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Walks. Love walks. Walks are, that's how if you say a word too many times in a row, walks, it just sounds weird.
I felt like you almost said Ewok.
Like Ewok.
Ewok.
Yeah. Anyway, walks are fantastic. They can really get your mind going in the right direction. I know that a lot of times when I'm just like dragging and just like, I don't know what I'm going to do next, and just feeling kind of like and blah about the world. And, as soon as you go on, even like a short walk just around the community can just get your brain going. So important to be productive is to get out there and actually have some kind of active activity, and just to get out there and do that. And if you don't believe me, just try it. I don't think we need to go into too much more about how much they can help. I mean, you can research how exercise and doing a physical activity can help your brain, but just go for a quick walk and you'll come back and you'll immediately feel more productive and like you can finish a task.
Because sometimes when we do watch too much TV and we're laying there on the couch and we're like, oh, my brain, and we just feel like we can't accomplish anything at all. We're just completely in a lull. And we're like, Jordan usually be like, well, let's go for a walk. And, I begrudgingly agree.
You're like, I don't want to. Like you always enjoy it. I know, but I don't want to. I want to eat cookies.
And so we finally get up and we go for a walk. And when we come back, I feel like a new person. I feel like
every time
I could accomplish anything. Like it was a total restart. So if you're ever feeling just completely bogged down, just go for a walk, get some fresh air, get your legs moving. And it's not an intense workout, but it's enough to get your body moving and get your brain going. So yeah, I cannot say enough how good walks are.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, I think some people think like, well, okay, that's a waste of time. I could have spent that time working. If you're going to have 45 minutes to an hour of unproductive time, it's not worth it. Just go take a break and take a walk instead, because you'll come back and be able to do the job even better.
Because sometimes you do just need a break. If you've been working all day doing the same task and you just feel like you need a break, go for a walk, have that creative time, read a book. It's so good to mix it up so you can come back refreshed and then just make up that time immediately because your brain is refreshed and ready to go.
Yep, and I think important just to note and consider there is, in order to really make it helping out your productive time, it's not about going and reading a fiction book for 3 or 4 hours. It's just giving your brain a break from whatever task you're doing.
Yeah, but I would say I enjoy sitting and reading a book for 4 hours, so.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, as far as like a workday productivity goes, that might get you in trouble.
Yeah. It's good to plan those days, like a beach day. Go and just read all day.
Numero siete, Miranda.
Goal setting.
Nice.
So goal setting, we did a whole podcast episode on this too, didn't we? Or something like it.
We've talked a little bit about it probably in every episode. I think
definitely talked about it a lot.
We have an outline for a future episode on goal setting.
Oh. Well, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but we are very much
violent.
about goal setting. And it's so important because if you have goals, you know exactly what you need to do to attain them. That will increase your productivity enormously, as opposed to just having some vague idea of what you want to accomplish in 5 years. This is what I want to do in the next week, and then you do it, and that's so much better.
Yep.
You had nothing to add there? That was
No,
weird.
I'm just saying that's productivity in a nutshell, really, is planning out your day, planning out your week in advance. And of course, we can't always account for unforeseen circumstances and emergency tasks that pop up, but setting goals and trying to figure out what you want to do with your day and your week can make all the difference, and as far as getting your tasks done.
Exactly.
All right, number 8, we have incentivizing. So this is incentivizing each other. If you're in a partnership, it could even be with other people at your work, or it could be incentivizing yourself. Miranda likes to say, okay, if we're good, if we finish these 2 podcast episodes, then I can have another cookie.
Yeah, I can't wait till this is over so I can eat a cookie. Just kidding.
No, it's seriously, she did say that before this. She's like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to not have my 3rd cookie.
Okay, that's not bad for me. 3 cookies isn't bad.
No, I got eyes like, never mention the cookies again.
Well, I love cookies, but yeah, it's so good to just have a goal and then know that once you accomplish it, you get something good out of it. Like if I finish this project, I'm going to go buy some clothes.
Moving on to number 9, after the cookie debacle of 2017, we're going to talk about, number 9's yours, so you can go ahead.
Number 9 is do it right now. So many times you say, I'll work on that tomorrow, or I'll worry about that next week, or I still have a month until that is due, or anything like that. And it's so important to just do it now, because the whole thing is you're not going to feel differently about something you don't want to do tomorrow. You're still not going to want to do it. So if you can, do it now.
Isn't that crazy, though, about our minds, that we're always like, or we always think that we're going to feel differently tomorrow? We just think, okay, I'll do that later. I don't feel like doing that now. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, it's just so funny because we're never going to feel like doing it today. That's why a lot of times we just got to just do it. There's some things, don't even write it on a list. Just do it. You have a task that you can finish quickly. It's a Sunday afternoon, and your car needs to, you need to get some gas for your car, or you need to fix a light on your car. I did that for Miranda's car recently, and it took me far longer than it should have because I'm terrible with cars and I have no idea what I'm doing. I think it took me like all afternoon just to replace a light, because I ended up breaking another light because it just fell off when I touched it in that car. It's like, the Corolla. I love it and I hate it. But no, just going on with that, there's some things you just got to do, do it right away. You're going to end up saving yourself time later on. I don't know who it was that says this. I can't remember. I know it's a pretty famous, maybe not necessarily famous, but it's pretty, I was going to say well-known. That's the same thing as famous. Anyway, I really want to remember the guy that said it, but he said, if your task can take 2 minutes or less, just do it. It is not worth writing a task that will take that amount of time on a list, because it's going to take you about that amount of time to do it. So if you had to send a quick email to someone, just pop in and finish that task and do it. And don't bother to write it on a list, because it's not worth writing it down, then crossing it off. It's just something you just need to do right away. And I think we all can get a little bit better about just taking action and not talking about taking action, and myself included.
Yeah, and you feel so much better when you're like, oh, yes, I sent that. I'm done. I can stop thinking about it. That's always a great feeling.
Oh, yeah.
When you just get it done. So, last but not least, what is the number 10 way to increase productivity?
To increase productivity, you need to have accountability. To be productive, you need to be accountable. I know accountability, again, is probably one of everyone's favorite, or one of your favorite words out there and favorite things to think about, but it can make a huge difference on trying to be productive and trying to get goals accomplished. If you have someone that's holding you accountable, you don't even have to think about it as like someone else holding you accountable. Think of it as someone helping you, someone being there to push you when you need it, but also to be there to assist you when you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. It's not about someone, holding the hammer over your head and being like, you have to do this or else. It's about that person encouraging you, lifting you up when you need it. But then at the same time, being like, hey, man, like there's really no reason you couldn't have finished that by now. Like, come on. What did you do on Saturday night? Well, I played Overwatch all night. Well, okay. Maybe you should have skipped that and accomplished your goal, or found a way to accomplish your goal before you did that.
Because it's so easy when you're just dealing with yourself to give yourself an excuse why you didn't get it done. But having somebody else saying, hey, 1 hour of Overwatch is enough. So maybe you should get some work done. It's helpful.
I felt like that hit a little close to home.
No, that's fine. I'm totally fine with your Overwatch
I know you are.
time.
I think you're being truthful.
I really am.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we should wrap this one up.
Yeah, so that was the top 10 ways to increase productivity. Limit your TV. Have some whiteboards you can write on. Have weekly meetings. Read different books. Have creative time. Go on walks. Set goals. Incentivize accomplishing those goals. Do it right now. And have an accountability partner.
Yep. Find an accountability partner, or just find a group or someone you trust to do that with. So thank you so much for listening to this episode on productivity. We enjoyed just talking about this. And again, Miranda and I are not experts at any of these except for walks. We love our walks. We'll challenge anyone to a walk duel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would win. I mean, we would win.
Okay, if we're a team, yeah, we win.
Yeah, I meant we.
Okay.
That was not a Freudian slip. I meant we. Anyway, we're not experts really. We don't proclaim that we're the most productive people in the world, but it's good to have reminders. It's good to think about these things. And it's always good to be taking a next step. Never think that you're at a point where you've got it, that you've learned it all. Because if you think that, you need to take a step back and maybe humble yourself a little bit and take one of these and start thinking about how you can do it. There's always room for us to grow. And I think that's so important to remember that and to consider that, to think about that, and then also to pray about that as well, and how that can, how some of these things can be implemented in your life, and what good they can do for you.
Yeah, it's definitely something you need to look at and see where your holdups are and see where you can improve. And we had a great time talking about this. It's good for us too, because we definitely learned from our own list. So we're going to be productive today.
Yeah, we're already having a productive day. I want to try to go on a walk after this, or grab a cookie or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you guys for listening so much. We love doing this podcast, and if you want to subscribe, we'd love it if you did, or you can leave a review, or you can just send us any ideas you have. We are open to all thoughts, so just reach out to us if you want to, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yep, and if you're listening to this on my website, just scroll down to the post and leave a comment and let us know how you felt about this episode, and tell us which one was most impactful for you, and which one that you are really good at, or which one you might want to do. So just scroll down. It's really easy. Take your mouse, touch the little wheel in between, scroll all the way down. It's really easy. Go on, comment, and then I'll be there and we'll respond to you as well and hopefully start a conversation. So once again, go on. If you're on my website, scroll down, leave us a comment. That's what we're asking you to do. Just do it. After the end of this episode, just do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Stay
weird,
weird,
friends.
friends.
You got it.